Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Debbie Shep Bricks. I'm really excited for today's video because it's going to be my first comparison. Today, we shall be comparing the 2010 Slave 1. But wait, what are we comparing it to? Good question. The 2018 Master Builders Cloud City Slave 1. Now, yes, I know this is a bit of a strange comparison, seeing as this is big, this is small. But, you know, these are the only Slave 1s I have, so I guess we're gonna do this. These two sets will be judged on displayability, playability, and, most and foremost, accuracy. So, yeah, I guess we'll get started with the small boy, so get out. So, obviously, the most important part for a lot of collectors is the displayability of the set. Now, yes, I understand this isn't its own singular set. This comes in a set, but whatever. I really like the way this set looks, and it just stands up so perfect. It holds its own weight, and it's not too hefty. But if you touch it, it does look very sleek on display, and just overall, that's a 10 out of 10 for displayability. And next up, we have the 2010 Slave 1. Now, let's see if this can out-display the Master Builder one. Okay, I'm gonna let go, so this thing better hold its weight. 3, 2, 1. Now, I guess the 2010 Slave 1 must be a little camera shy because he broke under the pressure. But yeah, as you just saw, there is almost no way to stand this thing up. If you do have this set, one simple way to make it stand up is to pull this out and place two 2x4s stacked right underneath. And then, just with that little modification, the whole set will be held up. So you can proudly display your big and small Slave 1 together. Now, before we move on to the playability aspect, I want to give this guy a 10 out of 10 for the thickness. As you know, a child could possibly access either of these, but I wouldn't let them, because children are evil. That was a joke, please don't hate me. So there will be two determining factors for playability. Number 1 is Swoosh Ability, and number 2 is Drop Ability. So, as you can see, this is where the drop test shall occur. Now listen, I am a professional idiot, so please do not try this at home. And remember, safety first. So first we're gonna start with the small boy, and we're gonna drop him just like this. Oh boy. 5, 4, 1.
A lot of damage!
Oh. Well, drop ability, I'd give that a 5 out of 10. It didn't completely obliterate, but now you have this. With, what just happened, I'm really nervous to drop this one, but we've got to do it. For the Sheps. Oh, not much. You can believe me or not, I dropped that from the same height I dropped this little goober. And it legit barely broke. That was the damage. Let me remind you what happened to the last one. Yes, big difference. Now, obviously, the winner of droppability is the 2010 Slave 1. Probably because he's bigger and bulkier and built more solid. This boy's still growing his bones. And the next test is Swoosh Ability, as everyone calls it. Now, most people call it Swoosh Ability to see how the ship flies and how it moves. But I'm not looking at that. I'm going to see how vigorously you can swoosh something until it breaks. So as we see, right here, we have the Cloud City Slave 1. Now, I'm going to shake this as hard as I can until I see some damage. Well, there's some damage. So this cannot be played for with long periods of time like that because, you'll just be left with a little handle. We'll leave the other one just like it was for a comparison. Now let's try this. I'm seeing no damage. Nothing happened. Now would you look at that comparison. Flawless victory. It is so far tied 1-1. Unless you want to count that thickness point I gave it earlier. And as you know from earlier, the final deciding factor is accuracy. As you all know, stormtroopers are not very accurate. But one of these two sets is, and whichever is, will be the best. So before we go ahead and get looking at these and see which one looks more accurate, let's take an actual look at the slave 1. Okay, there you go. You saw it, right? Right? You looked at it, right? You took a good long look, right? So the first thing that came to my mind was this one is actually quite accurate with the different greebling areas, and especially the wings are really accurate. Because even here, they added the little area where the rod holds on to the wings, or whatever you want to call that. And then they have the little guns down here. They even were able to fit Han Solo in the back. Got the engines back here, and it's just overall awesome. Now, the only issue is the cockpit. You are supposed to be able to fit 3 people in the cockpit right there. Here, let's try. It just doesn't work. So now, let's take a look at the big boy. I do think because this is the 2010 one, it does give this little boy a bit more of a chance to win, but it means nothing. So first of all, they did a great job with the wing greebling. I mean, minimalistic, but amazing. Then up here we have the connector shaft between the ship and the wing, which is done pretty well. I like the execution. Then we have this. They did a great job integrating these little missile launchers. Pew, 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 pew! There's whole artillery mode going on here. The back is extremely bland. There really isn't much to look at back here, so we're just gonna keep it like that. And you know how on the inside of the small slave one, you can only fit 1 person? Well, cough. You can fit a total of however many minifigures there are inside of this. And you can also probably fit this mower. Yes, you can. So, which one is more accurate? Wait, so you weren't listening? This one, obviously. So that means this is our winner. Tonto, take him away to the closet of shame. I've been in there more than once. And I'll see you on the other side. Goodbye. All for this Debbie Shepbrooks video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope each and every one of you has a fantastic day. And I'll see you in the next one. Whee!